Nobody running around with a costume on and two horns and a tail and a red suit claiming to be the devil. The devil is on top of the ground with red hair, blonde hair, brunette, blue eyes, brown eyes, and red skin. That's the devil, the so-called white man. Read.
All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we?
Yeah, the so-called white man is becoming weak. Now, his military, he wants to put faggots in his military, his Air Force, his Navy, his Army, his Marines. They want the faggots to have equal rights. But a lot of the men in the armed forces said, we're not going with that. If you're going to put faggots in here, then we're leaving the Army and you ain't going to have no Army. That's what they're saying. They brought that out today. So now President Bill Clinton has backed up off of that thing about putting faggots in the Army because he got getting too much flack from the generals. All the generals are saying, look, if you're going to put faggots in the Army and tell them that they equal to us, then we leaving your Army. But you ain't going to have no Army except a bunch of faggots running around looking at the rear ends of one another, playing rear admiral. Getting back to what I was saying, we want to continue to prove that hell is not under the ground. Continue reading, brother.
Thy pump is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy bowels.
Read it over again.
Thy pump is brought down to the grave. The noise of thy bowels and the worms is spread under thee.
The worm is spread under the United States, under the so-called white establishment, because they're a bunch of fools. They're a nation void of understanding. They gave Yeltsin $1.6 billion. He waved his hands and said goodbye. This was recently. Yeltsin, the mouthpiece for the Soviet Union, he really doesn't really have any control over much of anything over there. But he's a puppet and a mouthpiece and a member of the Trilateral Commission and the Illuminati. He was paid to go over there and tell the hardliners and the generals, y'all boys be quiet now. Y'all be cool. Everything gonna work out. Don't do nothing. Don't nobody get mad. Don't nobody want to fight America. Come on. Just calm down. I got money. I got 1.6 billion. Need some? That's all that happened. It was an under-the-table deal to keep the Russians from blasting the United States from hell and continuing this Soviet, so-called Soviet aggression in the world geographically. But according to the Holy Scriptures, the Soviet Union is going to take that money, spend it, have a good time, and come back and rob the United States. They're going to fight the United States and other nations. They're going to bomb the hell out of Israel. It tells you that in Ezekiel 38 chapter. It tells you that silver and gold is not going to buy them off. And it also tells you that democracy is never going to stand in the Soviet Union. The hardliners are going to come back and take over. Hooks are going to be put into the jaws of the Soviet Union. Read it sometime, Reverend Price. Ezekiel 38 chapter. But I know you don't understand it because you don't understand anything about history or archaeology. Read. Or the Bible.
And the worms have covered thee.
The worms have covered them. They're lending out money to everybody. And now they're hollering they don't have no jobs here, they don't have this, they don't have nothing. Read.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?
That proves that the white man is the devil. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? He's fallen from his throne of power. Every day they're falling. The very social fiber of this country and of Europe and around the world is fading and eating away. It's rotting and rusting away because of this problem, that problem, a war here, a war there, a war over here, a war everywhere. They're doing just like the Roman Empire did before they fell. They're spreading themselves out too thin around the world, trying to be the big policemen of the earth, and they're going to fall in their own trap. Now, I want to jump to something a little different. So much for the whorehouses called the churches. Let's make a clear statement about the purpose of Christ. Matthew 13:49. All you preachers are teaching in church that Christ is going to come back and everybody's going to be saved and he loves everybody. It doesn't matter what sexual preference you are and all that. You know, you're really trying to shove this fag thing down everybody's throat. The one in Leviticus, the 20th chapter and the 13th, Leviticus 20 and 13, it tells you that a faggot is to be hunted down and put to death. So how you going to shove faggots down everybody's throat? Telling little kids 3 years old, 4 years old, Dad's got a friend, his name is Bob. You can accept him, accept Dad's friend. No, I'm not teaching that to my kids. I'm teaching my kids to get a damn gun. If a faggot bothers him, blow his head off. That's what I'm teaching. Get a gun, a knife, a staff, a sword, anything that can put somebody to death. If a damn faggot come and try to put his hands on you, kill him. That's what the Bible says. Now, any of you so-called Negroes preachers that don't like that, you're faggots yourself. Read.
So shall it be in the end.
Now, this is what it's going to be. Don't give a damn whether you like it, don't like it, it ain't going your way. This is how it's going to be in the end. The end of what? The end of the devil, the so-called white man ruling this world. Read.
The angels shall come south.
Read that part again.
The angels shall come forth.
The angels shall come forth. Not no something from another planet. We wonder where they're from. Could they be from another planet? What galaxy are they from? Not the Klingons, the things shaped with butt heads and hands like a lobster and all that, and something from the Twilight Zone or the Outer Limits. But the angels shall come forth, and they are black. That's why they made that movie called Fire in the Sky about the Travis Walton story, which is a true story about a white man being abducted by black men. Being abducted by black spirits, angels. And they whipped the hell out of them on that ship, which was a flying graveyard because they had abducted a lot of white people and experimented on them, put them in test tubes and all that. Whipped the hell out of them for 5 days, stabbed them, dragged them all through the ship, then left them on the side of the road on a rainy night, butt naked like an animal. This is going to happen to a lot of you so-called white men and women because you're the devil that Bible speaks of, and I don't understand why you have a problem with that because I don't have a problem with it. You're Satan. You may as well face the fact and the reality of who you are. Your nationality is that you're the Edomites. Your first name is Edom, and your last name is Satan. Edom, Satan. Or vice versa, Satan, Edom. You're the devil that the Bible speaks of. Read.
And the angels shall come forth and sever the wicked from among the just.
The angels are going to come forth in the flying saucers, in the so-called UFOs, and sever the wicked from among the just. The wicked is the white man and these other nations. The only people that are going to be severed from among them are the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Now I want to go into some books I got here on some archaeology. And I want to prove a couple of things on this archaeology here. Give me Exodus, the 1st chapter, because I'm sick and tired of these Sunday morning preachers jumping up hollering, color don't matter, nobody never seen Jesus. It's not a color thing. It is a color thing. What do you mean it's not a color thing? Before you get that, give me Lamentations 4 and 8. It's not a color thing. It's always been a color thing. People on this earth always had a color. Until the devil sprung up and started raping and robbing everybody, then people started losing their color. Like when Genghis Khan, a white man, crossed the Golden Horde and went into Mongolia and those other places and went up into China and Japan and started raping the women and killing the men. Now you got a whole lot of little white Chinese running around. But the original Chinese live in Bangkok and Thailand and Vietnam and those places like that. And they're black. Small eyes, slanted eyes, long wavy hair, straight hair. Some of them got woolly hair, but they're dark skinned. Some of them so dark they look like they're almost black. I've seen them. The things you got running around over there in the Republic of China, Red China today, ain't nothing but the devil's seed, Genghis Khan. White people run around, but they cursed. Because the Chinese are a result of incest. The Japanese are a result of incest. They're the sons of Lot. When Lot's 2 daughters lied with him, that's why their eyes look that way. That's why they can't see where they're going. The Lord cursed them. He almost took their sight from them and made them into a short little old thing. But they got bombs now, and they're going to become a washpot over Edom. So we're going to go into Lamentations 4 and 8, find out the color of the Jews. And then we're going to go into some archaeological facts about the Jews. Read.
Their visage is blacker than a coal.
Now, their visage, that means their face, is blacker than a coal. Now, I got a book up here. When the cameraman comes back, I'm going to show it. It's called Arthur Koestler's 13th Tribe.